Head over to BoardGamePrices.com to find the best price on Scythe and thousands of other games. Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Scythe is one of my favorite games, and over the last few years, a few different expansions has come out for it. Invaders from Afar brought us more factions. The Windgamut brought us these cool airships, and then the Rise of Fenris was an amazing campaign expansion. Now, today we're going to be talking about the modular board. This is the last known planned expansion for Scythe, and this is going to offer a new board, a way to modulate things, a way for a lot of replayability, and add some more tiles and such in it as well. So I'm going to show you how everything works together here, and I'll see you on the other side. So obviously we're going to have a full new board that comes with this. Now, I want you to see that there's 4 big areas that don't have anything in them, and that's because there's going to be some modular tile boards that are going to go there. We'll show you that in just a moment. But also notice that there are definitely sections that are printed on the boards, but since this is double-sided, those printed sections are going to change on both sides to give it even more replayability. Now, these are the different modular boards that will go onto those empty spots that are in the big board I just showed you. And there's 4 of these, and they're double-sided. Now, they're going to go in this direction so that the logos sort of go in the same direction of all the other ones on the board, but they are double-sided, and so you have a lot of replayability between which sides and which ones you put where, because there's a total of 4 of these. Now, the majority of the times when you put these in, you will randomize, again, which one goes where and what side you use, but you'll never start with a lake next to a home base. So if that's the case, you'll just flip this one over, and each modular tile is guaranteed to work on one side or the other with all of the different configurations. Now, it also comes with all these different home base tiles that you'll use to randomly place on the board as well, but notice it includes the 2 from the Invaders from Afar expansion, so it works with that. Now the backs of those tiles all look the same, so you'll shuffle them face down, and then you'll flip them up like this, so it's somewhat randomized. However, one of them is going to be an inactive faction, so nobody's home base will be in that spot. So after randomizing the board tiles and the home base tiles, it might look something like this. Now each player is going to get a random player mat, then starting with the highest number and going down, each player in that order is going to be able to select a faction mat. Now this is a very important part of this setup because the experienced players are going to be able to look at the faction mat, the play mat, and where that player's faction starts and what's around there to see what the best choice is going to be. For example, the Saxony faction has Riverwalk, which you need metal in order to get the mechs to activate this, but if this was our starting base, there's rivers here, and there's no easy way to get to metal, so they're going to have to maybe work on wood to build a mine to move around a little bit easier. Now there's also 8 new structure bonus tiles, and you take these 8 and you shuffle them in with all the base game ones to bring it out. So this is going to add a lot of replayability too, and these do different things like structures on areas with encounter tiles, or on villages, or on wood or metal spots, or surrounding encounter spaces, or surrounding the same lake, or in a diamond shape, or not touching any other structure, or being next to the factory or any home base, things like that. Now 2 more notes, you can still play this with the Automa solo system, but due to the modular setup, the Automa might not be restrained by water in the early part of the game. Also, you can play this with the Rise of Fenris expansion. Now, you don't play it with the campaign, but there are ways to incorporate certain aspects of this in with this modular expansion, but I'm not going to go into that because I don't want to spoil anything if you haven't yet played through this. All right, well, there is the expansion. This is a pretty straightforward one. I mean, it's a double-sided board, so I like that both sides are going to have different printed things on them to give it even more replayability. You have those double-sided modular tiles, so when you mix that in with the double-sided board, you're adding a ton of replayability. And of course, double-sided, and where they go, and both sides of the board. You mix all that together, there's a ton of permutations that you can mix. Then you add the different factions of where those go, the tiles, and you have an almost unlimited amount of replayability where each game will be a little bit different. I also like that you have 8 more structure bonus tiles, and that you can use those just with the base game if you want to play. You mix those in, and then now when you play the base game, you've got those new ones in there too. That's cool. And I like that you can use it with the Invaders from Afar. It's built in to be played with those extra, that's 6th and 7th faction. That's cool. I also like that you can use it with Rise of Fenris. Again, I can't tell you how because I don't want to spoil it if you haven't played Rise of Fenris. The rules are in the rulebook if you care to read them. But I like that you can use them with those different expansions as well. And you can still play this with the solo mode. For those that like the Automa, you can play it and actually will possibly give you a greater challenge because you might not have the water barrier there for you. Overall, this obviously is for someone who plays a lot of Scythe and wants something different, wants it to be completely different every time they play. I wouldn't ever probably play this with somebody who hasn't played Scythe before because of those crucial decisions as to which faction, where you're going to play. That's such a big thing of this game, and looking at the different areas, looking at the factions, and seeing which one matches up well, which one maybe not as much. And looking at that, it really takes an experienced player to see that. So I would probably only play this with players that all know the game well and really want something different. But it will give that to you if you've played this game a ton and you want more difference, more replayability in that. Anything negative I can say about this? Well, I love the big board, and I bought the expansion board that allows you to flip the original baseboard over, and then it turns it sort of up and down, and you put that extension board on the side that I bought, and it makes the game I like it bigger like that. It just takes up the table bigger, you got all the resources and stuff. And I play on the bigger board all the time. And with this, because of course the tiles are a specific size for the main board, that's not doable. So I can't play this modular expansion with my larger board. That's a negative for me. But for the instances that I want the replayability, I'm fine with giving up the bigger board for that play because what I'm getting is the replayability. So the only negative, of course, there's no way really to do that without making a completely second expansion, which not a lot of people probably play on that board or not as many. So it probably doesn't make any fiscal sense for the publisher to do that. But overall, yeah, if you're looking for more, this has it. It's pretty much a no-brainer. If you play it a ton, you want more replayability, this is great. If you haven't quite scratched that, then the other expansions are probably better to get first. This has been the Game Boy Geek, breaking down barriers, growing relationships through board games by helping you find the next one you'll love. The overview in this video was shot on a Watson model Game Topper. Upgrade every game you play with the ultimate gaming accessory, Game Toppers, shipping now. Check them out at GameToppersLLC.com.